Welcome to the Integration Station. I'm Ashley Michaud, your coach. It's all happening. Hey everyone, hello you beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Integration Station podcast. I've got a special guest here, Andrew, I'm just really excited. We've had him on before for another collaboration, and at that point in time, he was mainly known for being the microdose guru. Now he's here to share even more about psychedelics, alchemy, spirituality, and I'm really excited to just pass it over here and start getting into some of these fun topics. So, Andrew, if you want to give yourself an intro, let everyone know what you're up to now and how you're helping people.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Ashley. So now I'm known on the interwebs as ENVEXEV, which is short for Envision, Execute, Evolve. And that's just kind of like my mantra for everything that I do. And what I feel like is just a really simple kind of outline of the process that we're all undergoing. We're all trying to become our highest self. And that's really what I'm all about, is just doing that myself and helping others do that as well. So that's what my coaching is focused on, is just helping people get a clear vision of the life that they want to build, and then helping them figure out the steps to get there.
Yeah, that's so important. I'm curious, what inspired you to take on this kind of challenge, to share it with the world? What's your story behind it?
For me, it's really just the one thing that actually brings meaning and purpose into my life. You know, being on this spiritual journey myself, as I'm sure most people know who are on this path, it can get dark and challenging and, depressing, and you can feel really isolated and go through a lot of those challenging times, which, you'll hear is the dark night of the soul, or, those really difficult aspects of the spiritual journey. And finding something to really bring purpose to it and, bring meaning into my life helps me, stay positive and gives me direction. So, I've found a lot of things that work for me and ways to, help me on that path. And I really just love sharing that with other people now and helping them through those hard times so they can find purpose and meaning as well.
Yeah, the paying it forward, creating a ripple effect. It's, that kind of stuff really works. I'm curious, what is your favorite tool to be using right now?
Right now, actually, I've been using this really awesome technology, and I'm also affiliated with the company as well, called In Harmony Interactive, and they make these meditation cushions and beds that have vibroacoustic technology within them. So it's super cool. You can connect your phone to these things with Bluetooth, and they have an app that you can basically play all these different frequencies through the cushion while you're meditating, and it's like a totally immersive vibrational meditation experience.
That's cool. Yeah, so it vibrates with the sound waves.
Yeah, so they'll have different tracks that play at different frequencies. You can use more than just their app as well. Like you can just play different guided meditations from YouTube on there. But anything that has like a bass vibrational frequency, like vibrates through the chair. Like I'll even listen to music through there sometimes, because it's just like a really cool sensory experience, feeling the music as well as listening to it.
What are some of your go-to songs or vibrations?
For songs, I think some of my favorites are the Daft Punk album, Random Access Memories. It's like really like outer space, gives like a lot of outer space feels, and like, I don't know, it just kind of takes you on a journey. It feels like you're on like a alien spaceship going through the universe.
What have been like some of your funniest experiences in that realm, like going into the cosmic space and even in meditative or working with different psychedelic medicines? Have you had any like funny cosmic experience to share?
I mean, I don't know about like funny really, but like just it's always just like a different like almost unbelievable type of feeling like you never like can imagine that this is possible, and then like once you're there, it's just like it feels almost so like natural and normal, you know, like that's where you're like meant to be. And I think that's just led me to develop a better understanding of like, you know, our true like spiritual nature as you know, the energy being that is so much more than just this body. And I think that's really what the practice is all about for me, is just like getting to know that part of myself, you know, because that's what I feel like we all really are, is just this energy being that is experiencing this physical realm for a time, you know?
Yeah, I totally, I'm doing a McKenna Academy thing right now. It's like a 7-day symposium, and I always, whenever I think about Dennis McKenna in any way, I'm always thinking about his cosmic giggle, that as we're having these kinds of insights, especially when it's around ourselves, laughter being that thing that just breaks up the intensity and helps us break through into that new understanding of ourselves and our place here, what our job really is, what our work is here to do in more ease. Because sometimes it can be sometimes it's not very comfortable going through those things, you know, like the dark night of the soul or the ego death, as you know, is discussed a lot these days.
Yeah,
So
gotta remember to laugh. Laughter is, as they say, laughter is the best medicine.
Oh yeah. So what significant changes have taken place since you decided to launch your business, like in yourself, in your own personal alchemy?
I mean, I've just really noticed that like a big shift in myself, with my understanding of, you know, just everything, like my place and my purpose in this life. Because, you know, before it was just like, you know, I was doing all of this work for myself, but now it's so much more, because I'm able to like share with other people and impact other people's lives. So I think just it's just reinforced everything that I know to be true, and like everything, all the new beliefs that I've formed over the, you know, past 10 years of my life when I've been like going through this process on my own. And it's just kind of reinforced that in a way that gives me like a new level of confidence and ability to just speak about it and share it with other people, which has been really amazing.
What are some of your outlets for sharing these days?
I mostly, you know, just use TikTok and Instagram. I really enjoy the TikTok platform. I kind of resisted it for a while, you know, and like I never was a big technology person or social media person, you know, when I was younger, and just always like resisted technology. But in the past couple of years, I've gotten, you know, on TikTok, and I've really enjoyed just speaking my mind and making like short little videos just about, you know, downloads that I have while meditating, just like sharing. I write a lot of poetry, so I share my poetry on there as well. And it's just a really cool way to interact with tons of people in a really, you know, like immediate fashion. So yeah, that's mainly just making short videos through TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Yeah, I watch your videos too. I love them. And you get a lot in a short period of time. I always have beautiful scenery around you.
Yeah, I've been getting better at it, you know, like when I first started out, I just kind of did it like just, you know, just had fun with it. And that's what one message I really like to communicate with people is like, if you want to start sharing stuff, you know, just do it. Like, don't like worry about like that you can't make a video that's as professional as somebody else. Like, you have to start somewhere, and, you know, just start getting reps in and practicing, and you'll find, you know, new creative ways to make them better along the way. But unless you start, you're never going to actually get to that point.
Yeah, that's one of Napoleon Hill's main topics too, is get started before you're ready. You know, it's you make the decision, the commitment to yourself, you know what your end goal is. It doesn't matter what it takes to get there, so long as you just start taking action in that direction right away.
And, you know, if you put out content that's not that great, like the internet has such a short memory, people aren't going to remember the like not so great content, but they will remember the really great content that you put out. And that's, you know, all that really matters is like, if at first, you know, you put out a few videos that aren't that great, just keep at it. And when you have one that really connects with a lot of people, you know, that's what you're really going for, is you know, sharing a message that's important and that's going to help someone who needs to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about who is there to listen, because there is somebody who wants to hear it. It's not always, you know, sometimes, especially in this realm when we're coaches, it's like we want to help our family and all of our friends, and sometimes it's not them that it's for. They're not always the most supportive, but once we get out there, you know, we realize, oh wait, there is somebody out there that wants it, and maybe it's just the one person the first time, but our most loyal followers that come in over time, they're there to support us in the growing process. So it's like they don't care that the first one sucks, because they still related to it, and over time they're going to see that progress. And over time, as you become more ready for what's available to you, once you're doing the work, it's then you are ready for it. You know, I was just having for an example, I was just on a call with a client earlier this morning, and she was talking about only getting 1 like in all of her posts so far in the last couple weeks. And yeah, my comment to her is, once you're ready, there's gonna be all the others, you know, so you just focus on the one for now, you know, and what is it that they're doing, and practice your communication. I had so much social anxiety, like I couldn't talk to anybody. It was like I was the type of person that goes and plays with the dog, especially after my sobriety. Like I had liquid courage when I would drink back in the day, but you know, once I got sober, it was like just me and the dogs.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's why it's important just to get those reps in and just practice, you know, like, because once you kind of do it, it just becomes automatic, you know. And I think a lot of people get discouraged and like try it for, you know, a week or two, and then they're like, well, no one's liking my videos or no one's watching my stuff, so I'm just going to stop. But you can't have that attitude. Like, you just have to keep doing it. And like you said, when you're ready, like it's all about being able to attract, you know, what you need as well, you know. So when you're ready, when you're putting out that right vibration, like you're going to attract back what you need and what you're ready for in that moment.
I'm curious, we've talked a bit about business here. What do you do in your free time?
I've been getting really into running lately. Actually, I signed up for a half marathon in a month. So I've just been like doing a lot of trail running and trying to get myself trained up so I can actually run this whole thing, and just getting really into like fitness and stuff lately. You know, because I've, you know, recently been, you know, forced into sobriety through a series of, you know, circumstances in my life where I'm being drug tested at the moment. So that's kind of different for me as well. And it's just kind of led me to experiment with new and different activities. So I've been like lifting weights a lot, hiking, trail running, and that's stuff that, you know, I've always done before, but I guess for a couple of years, I just kind of got away from that stuff. And it's been good to get back into like really good physical shape. It just feels really good.
Yeah, sometimes life throws us exactly what we need when we need it, you know, and
it seems to always do that. I think it's just if you're paying attention, you know, and how it's all your perspective and your perception of it. You know, you can get mad and like upset about a difficult situation, or you can look at it as an opportunity or find the lesson in it, you know.
Yeah, my mentor, Dr. Dan, he always says life's happening for you, not to you. Whenever you get in that victim mindset, it's important, you know, just take responsibility and go with it. So when it comes to running and all that, there's such thing as a runner's high. And I was just doing a DMT documentary, and Wim Hof was in it talking about, you know, the DMT being released in the lungs, and, you know, I doing some Kundalini dance training, and that's all about opening up your third eye and getting the DMT released through there, and again through the breath work. And So I'm curious, are you able to get to these states from your past experience working with medicines? Are you working on it? Is that one of the goals?
that is one of the goals. Like I wouldn't say that I've gotten really good at reliably like accessing it at this point, but it's something that, you know, I've been practicing a lot. And I think that really is like kind of where I'm at right now. You know, I love psychedelics. They've helped me so much in my life, but now I'm at the point where I want to be able to, you know, access that realm that psychedelics shows us without needing any chemical assistance. Not that it's bad, you know, if that's something that you're in a place in your life where you need that experience, you need that, you know, that message from the medicine, you need that experience, then do it. But right now for me, it's like I'm having more, you know, more fun, like getting really into deep meditation and doing, you know, breath work and like intense exercise and stuff like that, and trying to access those realms without any assistance. And I think that ultimately that's like the mission we're all on, is being able to connect with source, you know, just instantaneously, like being able to have that clear connection without like removing all the limitations that stand in the way of being able to communicate with the infinite at any moment.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, Wim Hof, one of the things I loved about him bringing that up, he's like, I was broke, I couldn't go pay for the substances, so I had to learn how to tap into it. And now he's doing all of these amazing studies through science and using his own body to show that, yeah, this is proven. And they've had amazing breakthroughs doing, a lot of it wasn't funded. They had to, you know, prove their work before it was getting to that point, but it is picking up this science into DMT. And like what Terrence McKenna used to say, we're all holding anyway. What's the point of having it, you know, be illegal when we're all using it? And we tap into this, you know, runner's high when we're doing like crazy amounts of breath work. When we're dreaming, like there's a lot of links into DMT being a part of why it is that we go to these other dimensions when we're dreaming, why astral projection and lucid dreaming are even possible and happen naturally for some people and can be tapped into through practices for others.
Yeah, I was reading this book called Tibetan Dream Yoga, and it's super cool. It's written by this Tibetan Buddhist monk about they actually have like a practice of dream yoga where it's essentially lucid dreaming, but doing it in a very specific way. And there's all these breathing techniques and methods that you do to help yourself access that state. And then you're able to interact with like teachers and, you know, different entities in the dream realm and bring that knowledge back into this realm.
It sounds like what was it, Doctor Strange in the Marvel movie,
yeah,
when they're going through the time dimensions. And yeah, I've definitely accessed those states through Kundalini yoga. Like I could never meditate in my drinking days. I was too like anxious, as I said, and you know, there was other chemicals involved there that just, you know, hindered me from reaching those other parts of myself. And a lot of it too, I think I was I had a really strong connection since early childhood with the dream mind. So I think I was trying to drown that out, like the nightmares and things like that, my connection to it. And when I got sober, I finally reached meditation through Kundalini yoga because of the fast action movement, the repetitive movement, the breath work and everything. And even reached it through running, I think, because once I had the experience once, it was like, it's easier to reach it, but still having full control to be able to bring things back, to even learn that communication. And the communication is different from working with plants like mushrooms. Like that's a different language too, and DMT a different language, and creating DMT yourself. And you know, it's the same kind of I don't know, dimension, I guess, but the language is still different. The way, because the way of getting there is a little different. Dennis McKenna said something on that too about DMT and psilocybin being from leading to the same dimension, but it's different ways of getting there, and you're meeting different entities at the same time too. So there's a lot to explore here.
Right. I mean, it's like we're never ever going to be able to fully wrap our heads around this. It's like you can spend a lifetime just trying to understand this stuff, and that's why it's really so fun, I think, because it's never like we're going to reach a point where it's like, all right, like I've got it all figured out, like I'm a master of every corner of this reality. It's just there's always going to be something new. And I think that's really like the core of like the mystery of life, and like why we're all here is like just constant exploration and like constant change. Change is the only thing we can depend on. And I do want to touch on like how you said you kind of wanted to drown it out, and I really resonate with that, because I think especially if you have that kind of connection at a young age, or you like go through your spiritual awakening at a young age, like it can be a kind of overwhelming and like be like too much all at once. And I think I made a TikTok about this, about how that's what I feel like how a lot of people get into addiction is because your body doesn't want to like leave its comfort zone, so it's trying to find a way to like keep your vibration in a lower state that it's comfortable with, that it's familiar with. And that's why getting into like drug and alcohol abuse can be an escape for a lot of people, because it's a method of doing that works, but it ends up causing further suffering, and it's kind of like another spiritual lesson that you have to go through in order to come out the other side with more knowledge and understanding.
Yeah, and there comes like this point too where it's like, oh my gosh, did I waste all that time? Could I have been further ahead, have a better understanding now that I've lived through the hell, but at the same time there still comes like this respect and reverence for the process, for understanding that was part of it, for to be able to teach, to be able to help to other people, that becomes part of the purpose too. You can't help anybody else unless you can actually relate and you've been there. And this is one thing that I think you and I both have in common, is working through the hell to find the heaven, and finally be able to navigate it enough that we can hold the gates open for other people to get out. I mean, we're not going back and grabbing people, throwing them out, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to sometimes, but we can hold the door open and just say like, this way, be the light.
Yeah, that's all it is. And that's one reason I've been really getting into like the study of alchemy and like the principles, universal laws and stuff like that, because it just really like explains that process, like the law of rhythm, like explains that we're always going like back and forth between like that heaven and hell, between that darkness and that light. But the better you understand that, the more control you have over the process. When you're going into a dark time, you have the ability to transmute that into something positive, rather than getting like totally like destroyed by it and letting whatever the events are that are happening really run it. You are in control, and you understand how you influence the outcomes more so.
Yeah, the Toltec path to freedom, taking 100% responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think, at the end of the day, really any experience that we have, anything that we go through, is because we asked for it. We made that decision to put ourselves in that place. So you can't be looking for an external source to blame for anything that happens to you. You always have to examine it and figure out how you got there and how you put yourself in that place. And
so you don't have to stay there.
Right. Because once you can do that, then you're learning the lesson and you're seeing the next step, and that's why so many people who you'll see, like especially like in our families and friends who we really want to help, we see them stuck in these situations for years, sometimes for lifetimes, and we want to help them, but we can't, because it's their decision. And if they want to continue to play the same cycle over and over again, we can't stop them from doing that. That's just the trip that they're on, and they're going to have to finish it out.
Yeah. There's a really awesome poem. It's called the Autobiography in 5 chapters. I'm not sure if you've ever checked that out, but it's
Who wrote it?
really, I can't remember the person's name, but just check it out. As soon as you Google it, it'll pop up. It's literally a one pager.
Okay.
And it's called Autobiography in 5 chapters, but each chapter is just a line. And it literally runs through life. For anybody else watching this call, I'm probably going to butcher it, but essentially it's chapter 1. You walk out the door, you fall in a hole. Like, what happened? Like, how do you get here? How do you get out? And it's like all these questions. You finally, after a long period of time, get yourself out. The second day you fall in the hole, oh man, I forgot, I fell in the hole again. Like, what happened? It's okay, because I can get my way out. It still takes a while, but fine. The third time you fall in the hole, oh man, like, why am I here again? Why me? Da, 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 life sucks. What's wrong with me? And then, but you mumble and grumble, but you get yourself out. Chapter 4, you go around the hole. Chapter 5, you walk down another street. So.
Right. I think I have like maybe seen like a TikTok of someone like reading that or something, because it sounds really familiar. And the context that I heard it in was relating it to like habits and changing bad habits. Yeah. Because it's the same, you know, analogy there. It's like if you pick up a bad habit, you know, every time you do it, you kind of get a little bit better. Like like quitting drinking or something. Like maybe you try 3, 4, 5 times, but every time you get a little bit better at it, you pick up something else. You pick up a little more knowledge. You pick up some more skills that are going to help you, you know, actually finally overcome it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and to just enjoy the process while you're doing it. You don't have to beat yourself up for those moments if you're able to find a lesson in it and then learn how to love yourself still. You know, it doesn't, yeah, it's okay to fall in the hole as long as you're learning and remember your way out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have trouble with that, where they're just like, you know, once they fall in the hole, they're just like, well, I'm here now, I might as well just like stay, you know, like if someone falls off the wagon or something, it's like, well, you know, I had a drink, so I might as well just keep doing it. Like I already failed, you know. Yeah. But it's like, it's okay if you mess up, just get back to what you were doing the next day, you know, like just don't allow it to get you down into like that negative spiral of events. Because once you do that, you know, you're going to have to come a lot further back to get back to where you were.
Right. So we just have a couple minutes left here. I got one last question for you if you're ready.
For sure.
All right. So if I give you a magic wand that could grant you 3 wishes, what 3 changes would you make in the world?
Oh my goodness, this is a hard one for sure. It's like, what would I change? Oh man. Well, I would probably just legalize all illegal substances, because I think that would solve a lot of problems. You know, because I think a lot of the issues we have in our world today are because of laws that don't make sense. And like
law books about this big, and all we need is like this.
Right. Just make the one law: do no harm. That's the only law that
the golden rules.
Yeah. So do no harm is the only law. You know, I would probably do away with like money as we know it, you know, and just create a system of being able to create value within small communities, you know, and just give people a chance to flourish and really live meaningful lives in touch with nature. And I don't know, is that already 3 or do I have one more?
You got one more.
Let's see. I would make all the world leaders understand love.
I love it. The third one's always the deepest.
Yeah, that would definitely solve all our problems.
Yeah,
you know, people were operating from a place of love instead of greed and, you know, control and power and, you know, whatever place they're in. I don't know. I can't pretend to know or understand it, but it just doesn't seem like a good place to be.
Yeah. I love that you wish better for them. We just had someone in the group freaking out yesterday just about, you know, none of it's fair. And, everybody has like their breaking point. It was just like, finally the anger comes out, and it's healthy to get it out too. But, I love hearing that you're in the place. I know it's going to be inspirational to a lot of people, that it's just come back to love.
Yeah. And, we can't see ourselves as separate from anyone. I wrote a little note in my phone the other day for an idea to make a video, and the idea was there is no them. It's always the us and them mentality, but there is no them. We're all one. And once you understand that, things become a lot easier. Life becomes easier because you don't feel like you're up against someone. You're really, what we're all doing is working to create a better world. And like, it doesn't matter that there's people out there doing bad stuff. Like, as long as you are doing positive, eventually good always wins. Like watch Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or any of those great stories, and that's what it's about. It's about that good always overcomes.
I'm just thinking of I think it was Endgame or something. He's like SpiderMan fan, and they finally beat out Thanos. That's my visual.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially every story is that same story. It's like, that's what that's what we love to watch. That's what entertains us as these like spiritual beings who are balancing darkness and light within our lives every day. We love watching these stories of people doing that, of people fighting these great battles, on the big screen. And it's pretty funny that like almost every story, a great story, I feel like if you looked at it, boils down to that basic idea.
I'm with you there. All right, Andrew. So if you want to take a couple of seconds, you can let everybody know how to contact you and get in touch, continue the conversation one-on-one. I'm also going to link all your information below for anybody who doesn't catch it on this call, but yeah, give yourself a shout out.
Best place to reach me is through Instagram DMs. So that's at ENVEXEV, so ENVEXEV. So yeah, just shoot me a message there, and look forward to talking to you guys. Much love.
Yeah,
thank you
much
for
love, Andrew.
having me, Ashley. It's been super fun talking as always.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's sharing you with everybody. That's my honor. Thank you, Andrew, for everything that you're doing. We'll talk soon.
All right, great.
Bye.
Bye.